Hey, how's it going everyone? This is YLAM here. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about audio for the Fuji X-T3. This is more because I want to talk about some of the video settings that I use around the studio and also what I use when I'm vlogging. But before we do that, I do want to get audio aside because it is pretty important or very important, and also because I've been on a very big audio kick for the last couple of weeks. These are the two primary mics that I use. But also on the X-T3, I sometimes actually go without a mic, so I'm definitely going to let you hear that. So let's go ahead, jump right into it, and I'll let you hear what all three mics sounds like. Alright, so on the first pass, the only audio that you're going to be hearing is from the internal mics on the Fuji X-T3. A lot of people don't really think about using the internal mic system because they always assume that it's really bad. But on the X-T3, I think they're pretty passable if you're going to be just vlogging or doing any type of family videography. I think it's passable. It's definitely not the best, but in a pinch, it can still do a fairly good job as long as you clean it up afterwards. So what I'm going to do now is this next part is going to be with it normalized to my standard audio levels of -18 LUFS. This is what it sounds like. You're probably going to hear a little bit of background noise because I'm lifting the entire audio track without doing any cleanup. And then of course, this last one right here, this is when I go ahead and remove the background noise with my standard methods. And generally speaking, it usually sounds pretty good. In fact, right now I'm in a closed room, so there's probably going to be a little bit of echo, but in an outdoor space, it usually sounds pretty good. Give it a listen, see if it's passable to you. So on this next go around, I'm actually using this Saramonic mic. I actually have two of these. I have this one, and then I have my primary one. I always like to have a backup of one that I constantly use, or if I go with a bigger one like one of these, I always carry one of these just as a backup. It's just nice to have, but this is what it sounds like completely unaltered. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and normalize the sound to -18 LUFS. So again, this is my standard normalization that I do across almost all of my videos, just to get the same levels across. Again, you will probably hear some background noise because I'm lifting the entire audio track, but with a little bit of cleanup right here, which is going to be me trying to remove some background noise. It's going to be a little bit more cleaned up. It's probably going to be a little bit better with room echo because this is a directional mic and it is aimed directly at me. Hopefully you can hear a difference, and then you can kind of compare what the internal mic sounds with this Saramonic mic. Keep in mind it's not going to be the best mic in the world, but it is nice and small, inconspicuous, and that's what I really like when I'm shooting outside in the public. So the last one that I will be using is the Rode mic. This is the first mic that I actually used when I was vlogging. It's still one of my favorite mics, but because of its size, I tend not to want to use it when I'm out in the public, but if it's really windy, I definitely will. So this is what it sounds like, completely unaltered. Usually sounds pretty good, but let's go ahead and just lift the audio track. So this is what it sounds like under my so this is what it sounds like when I lift the entire audio track to -18 LUFS. You probably still will hear some background noise. It's a directional mic. It does a really good job, but Rode mics tend to be like very low in the registering of voices, so you always have to lift the audio track a little bit more, which means you usually get a little bit more background noise when you lift the audio track. So the last thing that I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and remove the background noise, my standard way of doing things. I do have a video about that if you want to know about that, but this should sound a whole lot more cleaner. These are my favorite travel mics because they've proven to be super durable. They're also super lightweight so that they're easy to carry around. I don't really like to have things with batteries in them because I already have enough trouble trying to keep things charged. I just don't need another thing to charge or another thing to remind me to actually bring batteries for. So I just got done editing the video, and as you can see, there's a huge difference between the mics and why it's so important to actually get the right mic for the setting that you're using it in, and also to get a quality mic. Now, there are instances where the portability of one mic is just going to be worth it, at least it is for me. But when it comes to audio quality, some of the bigger mics, some of the brand name mics, they really show their stuff. Now, before I actually stop, I do want to show you my Lavalier mics because I truly believe the Lavalier mics is the best type of mic when you actually have a small room and you're doing these talking head videos. The only issue with these lavalier systems is that they tend to be very expensive and they tend to be a little bit hard to set up. There are some lavaliers out there that are going to be pretty affordable, but you're still looking at a $300 price range for a really good set of lavaliers. So I really can't recommend them, but if you're looking for the best audio quality, especially in a small room environment and talking head situations, I highly would recommend that you look into lavaliers and trying to find one that fits your budget. I will give you a short clip of it completely unedited. So this is completely unedited, what it sounds like when I'm capturing it. The reason why I'm capturing it at a lower dB is because I kind of remove the background reverberations. I also kind of lower the noise floor. It's just a little bit easier, but you will have to post-process. That's one of the things that you're going to have to do when you're capturing audio at a lower level. Plus, if somebody starts yelling or if something bumps the mic, it's not going to go ahead and peak and cause distortion. So that's kind of important as well. So this is what it sounds like when I go ahead and normalize the sound. These lavaliers, they're really old. Pretty much the frequency that these are using are going to be going out of date. So it's not something I would recommend, but they have been tried and true workhorses for me. That's why I keep using them, because I have them. I'm not going to go ahead and replace something that I don't have to, and plus I know how to process audio on these and I like what they sound like. So for me, I'm going to keep at this, but it's something that I definitely wanted you guys to hear. Well, actually, you guys hear this every Friday, but this is my best set of microphones that I love for indoor environments. Anyhow, I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments below. This is just a quick video that I wanted to do to show you how important audio is and how important it is to have different types of audio for different settings that you're going to be using at for different venues, yada, yada, yada. Hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next video.